Great football action as Canon presents Local Soccer League 2006-2007. Kitchi versus South China.
Hello there and welcome to Canon Presents Local Soccer League 2006-2007 Kitchi versus South China from Mongkok Stadium. I'm joined for the match by former Hong Kong national team player Mark Granger. And Mark, a huge game for the Carolinas.
Oh yeah, exactly, Andrew. I mean, basically they have to win this game this afternoon. They really do, because if they don't, they're way out of touch and they're not going to get back on in any contention to win the league. Kitchi, of course, winning, heading in the league by 6 points, so a big game for them. But really, the Carolinas have to get a result. 3 points, Andrew.
So the former greats trailing Kitchi, as Mark mentioned, Kitchi leading the Hong Kong League ladder. South China are in third. So let's now go live to this match, and before, let's take a look at some stats. So it's an absolutely perfect day for football here at Mongkok. There's the league ladder. Kitchi leading with 21 points. Now, Landwide just ahead of them with 15, level with Rangers. South China down there with 14 points. Happy Valley with 11, right down to Hong Kong Football Club in 9th, and Hong Kong 08 with no points so far. So that's the first division for Hong Kong. And we'll now take a look at this wonderful ground here, a legendary ground in Hong Kong footballing terms. Mongkok, not a huge ground as far as spectators are concerned, but not a bad crowd here today. It's great to be out in the sun, perhaps a little on the warm side for football, but South China will be fired up nonetheless. They have all the work to do here against Kitchi, who are looking down on the Carolinas from a great height. Kitchi, the 3-time Hong Kong champions, and South China, who, Mark, are going through a little bit of turmoil at the moment. No great need for panic. I mean, if you look at the results so far this season, they have won 4, they've only lost once, but they're still looking to fire 3 of their top players.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. And you know, I think that the main reason being is obviously South China did have a brand new budget and a brand new set of players. I think the budget was kind of listed to be around 10 to 11 million Hong Kong dollars for this season. So consequently, that's an awful lot of money by local football standards. And they brought in a number of players, 3 or 4 from Portugal, another 3 or 4 from Brazil, and they were expected to do big things. So even though, I suppose, as you say, the results haven't been that bad, they're expected to have done very much like Kitchi and won all their games so far, and that's been the problem. And obviously, you know, it's never easy, but I'm sure they've watched the players in training to make the decisions. And really, football is a tough game, you know, at the end of the day.
So as we see all the players warming up.
Yeah, they're just getting warm now, Andrew, and as you say, it's a very warm day here, but you know, there is a breeze around. There is less humidity. I'm not sure what the humidity is, but it's certainly not as high as it has been, and that makes for a good afternoon's game of football.
So just looking around the ground here, mentioned before about the foreign players that South China are thinking of getting rid of. It's a love-hate relationship, Mark, that the Hong Kong clubs have had with foreigners from the likes of Brazil, some from the UK, some from Africa. In fact, one of the matches that we've seen just recently, in fact, the match leading into this one, an explosion in the number of African players that have been picked up by Hong Kong sides. Anyway, let's take a look at the lineup for Kitchi. And Mark, Kitchi coached by Dejan Antonic, who you're very familiar with.
Yes, exactly. Dejan was a super player playing here in Hong Kong, very successful. He was a centre-half and a great left foot. I played with him at Kitchi. Sorry, not at Kitchi, of course, he's the coach of Kitchi. I played with him at Instant Dick for a couple of seasons. And he's done great things with Kitchi as we look at the South China lineup there.
So Jorge Amaral in charge of the Carolinas. Back in goal, they have Zhang Chunghui. And up front, the likes of Dos Santos and Man Pei Tak.
Yeah, Santos has got a few goals already under his belt, and he'll be a real threat and a danger for this Kichi defence.
So just looking at South China's results, going back, as I mentioned, 4 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. And the one that really rankled South China was a recent 3-0 defeat at the hands of Rangers. And that was just recently. Mind you, before that, they had a 3-1 win over Happy Valley and a 2-2 draw with Jiangshui Sun Hei. And that match was in early October. Before that, a win over Taipo and a win over Hong Kong 08, and before that a 1-1 draw with Citizen. So it's not so much the defeats that have dragged South China down, it's the draws. There have been 2 of them so far.
Yeah, and like we said, Andrew, that's just not good enough for South China management. They need a return on their investment, you could say, and they need 3 points every game. And this one is a huge fixture because effectively this is a 6-pointer. If they can win today, that keeps Kichi pretty much where they are, and of course South China will gain a little bit of ground, as will everyone else. But this Kichi side have been flying so far, and they're well balanced, Andrew. That's the thing with the Kichi side. They've got a good balance of foreigners, and they've got probably the best local players at the moment.
Well, Kichi are known as well, at least their nickname in Hong Kong is the Hong Kong Hotspurs. They were first founded in 1931, and they've won Hong Kong First Division League titles in 1948, 1950 and 1964, as well as 4 senior shields and 1 League Cup. And that was just last season. Now, one of the reasons why Kichi are atop the Hong Kong First Division is because of a flying start they had to the season. A 4-1 win over Hong Kong 08, that's what they started off with. And then they thumped Taipo 6-1 shortly after that. Also, much later on in the season, on the 20th of October, Kichi defeated Hong Kong Football Club 4-0. So that also did wonders for their goal tally. So up until now, they have 7 matches and 7 wins. 23 goals in all.
Yeah, it's pretty good, Andrew. Just looking at that, and they've only conceded 4, so it's some start to the league campaign, as you say, and you know, somebody's got to do something soon because they will run away with it. And I think already South China are maybe talking about throwing the towel in because simply of the gap, the gap that's being created at the top. But once again, if South China can get a result today, then you never know. Maybe South China can't catch them, but the others can. And we've got 2, just looking down that lineup, Andrew, we've got 2 of the former Hong Kong greats who we understand are going to start on the bench respectively today. So we've got Tam Su Wai for Kichi, of course, ex-Hong Kong international for many, many years, and one of the best creative midfield players around for the past probably 10 years or so. And on the opposing bench today is Ao Wai Lun, who is very familiar face to anyone in local Hong Kong football, and particularly South China fans, because he's been with South China for the best part of 12 or 15 years. He started off there as a kid, 14, 15 years of age, and he's never left them. I think he had one spell with somebody in between, but he's been at South China many, many years.
Well, Mark, you and I have both been here long enough to see Ao Wai Lun and Tam Su Wai go right through their careers.
Yep.
They're now in the veteran ranks in their mid-30s, one's 35, one's 36, and as you said, it doesn't seem like that much long ago when they were just kids starting off. Some great talents, truly great talents of Hong Kong football. And the question now remains, who is going to replace them?
Yeah, that's right. They're, you know, it has to be said, with the state of Hong Kong football as it is, then it's not easy to see a great depth of talent in the youngsters coming through. It must be said, there's few and far between, and not quite sure the correct destination for Hong Kong football. They're trying to resurrect it. Kichi have done a fabulous job as well, and I think at half-time we're going to see some of their youth scholarship scheme in action and explain to people how that works. But there's not that many people with that type of proactive approach in Hong Kong football.
Well, Mark, certainly covering these matches live is a great start. It's wonderful to see Hong Kong League matches live here on TVB, and just a reminder that this is a bilingual broadcast, so you're watching TVB Pearl, but you can pick up Cantonese commentary on the NICAM or bilingual channel. So here come our sides. South China in their traditional red and white, and Kichi in the blue.
Yeah, Keith Gums there leading Kichi out, the ex-Happy Valley striker. What a good player Keith is, number 11 there. And
he's certainly been around the traps in Hong Kong as well. Originally from St Kitts and Nevis, but judging by his accent, I'd say he's more English.
He very much is, Andrew, yeah. But yeah, he's been in fabulous form the last couple of seasons, and Kichi did pick him up. I'm surprised Happy Valley let him go, actually.
Yes, Keith Gums, 34 years old, but still going strong, and wearing the skipper's armband for South China. It's Lee Chi-ho.
Yeah, certainly a lot of new faces in there. For me, Andrew, it was of course a different era, you could say, to when I was playing. There's a few of the guys still playing now, but certainly changed quite a bit. New foreign players have come in, new youngsters have come through the ranks.
Well, Mark, I mentioned the Africans before. The match we saw previous to this match here at Mongkok, there were 7 Africans on the pitch at any given time.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. That was Rangers against Citizen. Of course, Citizen coming up from the 2nd division, winning promotion along with Hong Kong Football Club, and Rangers going out.
And there is the top scorer of South China.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew.
Titinho,
the big number 30 is he's about 6'3", I think, something like that, and he's absolutely huge. And I think I remember covering the first game here for South China, and he started on the bench actually. So obviously he's found his way into the starting 11, and he's not looked back since. Yeah, because you didn't get a chance to see the first game, Rangers went out 3-0 winners against Citizens, so they continue their impressive start to this first division. And there's a name for you, Andrew.
Yeah, Ferreira Mesquita Michel Platini. So obviously named after the former great Frenchman from the 1970s and 1980s. So Keith Gums just facing camera now, and starting up front there with Wilfred. So we're underway here at Mongkok Stadium. That's Bamjo, plays it back. Bamjo again. Now South China have taken it. Kwok plying forward now, waiting for the ball, and perhaps a little too far. Out for Lee, who slips a little, the South China skipper, Lee Chi-ho.
A little bit of space in midfield for South China there, but one thing I would say, Andrew, just is that put through down the right-hand side channel. decent defending. Is the pitch looks a little dry. I don't know if they watered it before the first Rangers Citizen fixture this afternoon. Of course, a double header here at Mongkok. But obviously this warm sunshine on it for a few hours, it makes the pitch very dry. And I think that, you know, the ball's going to stick under the players' feet a little bit more than it probably normally would, say, in an evening game when it's a little cooler.
Well, Mark, the surrounds here in Mongkok near Fa Yuen Street, the flower market next door to Mongkok Stadium, hasn't really changed much. But you'll probably agree the quality of the pitch here has improved. I mean, if you go back just 10 years, Mongkok was notorious for occasionally horrendous pitch surfaces, and it's relatively looking pretty good.
It's not bad at all, Andrew, and it's true. There's quite a bit of football played on this surface, but as you say, there's plenty of grass everywhere. It's fairly flat, and it's deceptively big, I can tell you. I've run around this pitch on many occasions, and it's bigger than it looks. But the only thing today is it's going to be dry, and when you're running with the ball, that's not that easy as a football player.
Well, basically, you don't want to fall down.
That's a raised foot, and a good decision by our local referee there. A yellow card as well, which is a very silly yellow card.
Yeah, which comes out for Luk Kun Pong. In fact, the South China player has still not gotten off his feet yet. Goes down. So Kwok King Pong looks like he will continue, although it took him a while. So Tenino is in the wall there, the big number 30, the red and white, just trying to disrupt the concentration of them. And Platini, not to be confused with the original Platini, looks like he's going to take this one. And he is taking quite an intimidating run-up to this ball as well.
Well, it's a real Brazilian run-up, reminiscent of Roberto Carlos.
Tenino still jostling with the ball, and got to wonder if the referee will allow that sort of intimidation by the big man, the top scorer for South China. An absolutely huge, imposing figure.
Absolutely, Andrew, and I think the majority of his goals, if I haven't seen them all, but a lot of them have been headed goals, which is no surprise, really.
Okay, the man on the sidelines there with the blue shirt and the grey hair is the South China coach. Still Antonio Amaral.
That was an offside decision late on there. There was a number of players in and around the 6-yard box, and we might get another replay of that.
Close call anyway.
It's a decent ball in.
Yeah, from Li Hai Chiang.
Oh, I think he's hit a post, Andrew, in the end. It's gone all the way through a clutch of players. South China have one or two mainland players as well in their side. Number 6, Gao Wen.
The keeper for one.
Keeper as well. Yep. And number 14, Liu Quan Kun. And I think they're, with their latest newspaper reports, are hoping to sign another mainland Chinese player, central defender, in the next few days or so.
Oh, that's a great ball in for Tenino, and the Rangers, I should say, the Kitchi keeper with the sun in his eyes. Yeah. So not exactly an easy take. So just a reminder, in this early stage of the game, the score between Kitchi and South China is 0-0. Out wide for Leung Chi Wing. He didn't have much time on the ball there. The forward, nice control there by Kwok Kin Pong. Over now for Chan Soo Koo. Chan Soo Ki gets a good ball through for Kwok. This is Kwok Yu Hung.
Yeah, Kwok Yu Hung also many years at Happy Valley, so I think he came in pretty much the same deal with Keith Gums, and what a good signing it was for both of them.
Yeah, certainly up in the veteran stakes is Kwok at 31 years of age. This is Gao Wen with the free kick, taking his time, or perhaps will Leung Chi Wing come over and take it instead? Dejan Antonich, the Kitchi coach, on the sideline, shouting out a few instructions. So Kitchi free kick, it's a good looking one as well, but Tonino had come all the way back. Platini lobs it up, Keith Gums gets a touch. It's gone back for Lu Chan Kun. Keith Gums up for it again. This is Deng with the throw. Deng plays it back to that's Rakocevic there. Darko Rakocevic, the Kitchi number 4. Rakocevic again.
Yeah, I think he's been a big reason, Andrew, why they've only conceded, what was it, 4 goals, I think it was, so far this season.
Deng with the throw again. They're looking for Tonino. They're found him. The big man charges through, and he's picked up one of the Kitchi players on the way. In fact, he's still down. Rakocevic.
He got in front of him, didn't he, Andrew, there? And he got in front of him with a one of those big, looks like a size 11 boot. And I think he just caught him on the way through. It was not a malicious tackle at all. He was just purely and honestly going for the ball. Seems to be okay, though.
So, Kitchi players are picking up one too many bruises at the moment. Rakocevic will play at centre. Good looking ball's taken a bit of a deflection straight back to South China keeper Zhang Chung Hoi.
Of course, also on the South China substitutes bench, talking of goalkeepers, is Chung Ho Yin, who we've seen play some outstanding games for the Hong Kong national team before now as well. The mainland Chinese goalkeeper favoured.
Oh, Bamanzhou throws himself into that one, and South China come away with it nonetheless. Lee Chi-ho plays it out wide to Tonino inside. Bamanzhou back for Yevic.
Free kick as well, and
yeah, let's go free kick to Kitchi.
It wasn't far away from the edge of the box there, Andrew. I don't think it's Deng who's gone down under the challenge. A little push there. Well, it was a few yards away, but he was progressing right into the 18-yard box.
I think he was trying to jump into the 18-yard box, to be honest.
Probably right, Andrew.
Lunging forward. 0-0 the score here. We've just gone past the 10-minute mark here at Mongkok Stadium in Hong Kong.
A corner off of a Kitchi player at the end, and the big number 5 was right up there.
That looks like Chan Soo Ki, who's down. There wasn't a bad ball in either and he did get clattered. I think it was Platini with the arm up.
Yeah, I think it was, Andrew. As you say, it was a cracking ball right inside that 6-yard box, and any kind of flick on it goalwards would have been very, very dangerous. It's a little bit further out to the far post, and there was a push. He really is a huge fellow, Tonino. And just his presence alone in that danger area is going to cause some confusion, because he can play a bit as well. He's not just his pure size. Oh, it's a lovely turn.
Chan Siew Ki has done very well here. He's being pressured by Lee. Chan comes away with it. He's got to get this cross off and may have left it too late. That's out.
And he did. He really should have just... he was looking for a free kick, but it was good defending in the end from the South China captain.
And Chan Siew Ki limps away from that one, disappointed that he really could have and should have got a cross off.
Well, he also had the opportunity, Andrew, to play it back. He had a great initial touch, and Lee Chi-ho, the South China captain, tracked him all the way, and he did deceive him once again, but unfortunately ran the ball out.
Lee puts one forward for Tinho. Kokocevic gives it away. Oh, great work by Kwok. Keith Gums closing down. This is Lee. Keeps Gums at bay. That's Platini.
Not bad from South China, is it? They're keeping possession of the football, changing it from one side of the field to the other, and some good skill along the way.
Platini again. I don't think he realized there was a man bearing down on him.
He was lucky there, Platini, wasn't he? Because it was Kwok, I believe, who got a foot in there for Kichi.
Wayward leg stuck out there by Chan. The chase is now on for Kwok. Kwok Yu-hung, can he get there? Kwok cannot get past Hugo Kelo.
Yeah, one of the Portuguese boys, Ricky Chung, there on the bench.
Oh, great work down to the feet of Tinho. Plays out to the skipper Lee. Lee can't get it past Bamanjo. And Young with a great ball forward. Gums. Good decision. Gao getting a knock in the back there.
Good football once again, though, Andrew, from South China. They really, I think, are showing that they can still play a little bit.
This is Leung looking for Gums, can't find him. Platini gets a touch back to through Platini, I should say, and that's Lee now taking it out wide to Deng. Gao. This is still Kwok fighting for the ball, and finally South China come away with it. That's Kwok. Too high for Tinho. Chested down to Li Jian. In goal for Kichi.
Yeah, yet to really find the feet yet, Kichi. They South China look the more promising team in this first quarter of an hour.
Kokocevic. over for Jevic. This is Ivan Jevic. 31 years of age is Jevic. Quite a few veterans on the field this afternoon, actually. Tinho. Tinho again out wide for Lee. South China playing a pretty sharp game so far, but it's been, I'd say, evenly balanced.
Yeah, pretty much so. And I think South China have looked the more positive, to be honest. They're looking to go forward at every opportunity. Kichi are kind of sitting there soaking things up a little bit. But that's hardly surprising, because as we said at the beginning, South China really must win this fixture to stay in any type of contention at all for this Hong Kong First Division League title. And there is Dejan Antonic, who has really got this Kichi side absolutely flying at the moment. That's
oh, well
nearly went in.
That was, well, certainly worth trying by Li Hai Chang, and very nearly caught Li Jian unawares. Vukocevic asking what the problem is.
The ball's got to go out the area, that's what the problem is. And I think you're right, Andrew. I think goalkeeper maybe just lost it in the sunlight, because the sun is just going down on the far side to the left of our camera position here.
Some very long shadows on the pitch,
but it's still there. So that's
Bamanjo was left standing there, and really Kwok Kin Pong lucky not to have hurt himself. He went in with the challenge, and Bamanjo, surprisingly, just stayed on his feet. So just desserts, perhaps, for that reckless challenge.
It's just going to run out on the far side for a Kichi throw.
Mark, I haven't seen the exact figures, but it looks like we have a pretty good turnout here at Mongkok. We have the side stands pretty much full. The stand to our left here, pretty much full. The one to the right, though, is not so full, but again, it's the numbers don't look too bad.
No, I'd say at least probably 2.5 to 3,500 people, something like that. And for a nice sunny Saturday afternoon, that's not bad at all. Of course, the big reason for that is the team in red and white, South China, the best supported club in Hong Kong by a long way, and it's largely down to their success. 27 Hong Kong League titles, 17 senior shields, and 8 Viceroy Cups, 7 FA Cups, and a League Cup. That's not a bad record, and that's why they are the best supported team.
Mark, I hate to dwell on their glorious past, but really there was a time back in the early 1970s when South China was probably the football team in Asia, the club team.
You're right, Andrew. They really were, and of course the Hong Kong Football Association, one of the founding members of the Asian, Football Confederation, you could say, back in the olden days. But unfortunately, a lot of the other Asian nations have took their associations on, most notably people like the Japanese and Koreans, and even Thailand. Really, it's not a bad setup now. And Hong Kong has pretty much not even stayed where it was. I would say gone behind and not really progressed from the heydays.
Well, the problems run from top level all the way down to grassroots level. You're talking about problems with infrastructure, funding, or lack of it. We could go on and on, but anyway, there are certainly some people involved in Hong Kong football trying to steer it back on the right course at the moment. And again, things like live coverage of matches like this, key matches with blue ribbon teams like South China and three-time champions Kichi. That's the way forward. And again, what a great day for it. Keith Gums.
Yeah, we've not really seen a lot of Gums, have we, so far? That's a decent ball into him. It's not really going to do too much with it. Challenging with the big Portuguese defender, but he's at least got it goalward bound. Give him half a chance and he'll be onto it. He's very, very fit and strong. And he's been the league's top scorer before now as well.
Well, there was certainly an arm around the neck of Keith Gums there, and he wasn't happy with it.
I think it might have been the Portuguese boy, is it, who's down?
Yeah, it was, but if you want to be fair, it's Coelho who actually grabbed Keith Gums. I mean, look at this. Well, this replay a little bit after, but Coelho grabbed Keith Gums around the back, and then there was a shove on a South China player as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Had an arm right around him,
and I think he landed on Keith Gums, didn't he? And then, but look at this. Not sure if he had a little. Well, that's good to see a handshake after. I'm not sure if Keith Gums had a little kick at him just as they got up there. No hard feelings.
Flick back for Lee, who wisely gets it away from Keith Gums. Yeung crosses. That's Lee out wide for Deng. Crosses in. It's a long one, and it looks like they may have given away the corner.
Yeah, Andrew, that was again good. He couldn't see that in the sun, and he was saying, you know, I just wonder, probably the goalkeeper at that far end, the Kichi goalkeeper, he maybe should be wearing a cap, Andrew, because there is still sunlight. Well, it is right in his eyes there.
It's such a disadvantage for them being down that end, because by the time they change halves and get up the other end, the sun will be down and the opposing keeper won't have to face that problem.
Yeah, that's right. Because he definitely lost track of the cross in there. It was high and to the far post. I think maybe a foul there. And of course, with a guy as big as that, then just one little touch and the referee is probably going to award it against you, because oh, he's lost it. That's poor work from the number 23, and once again given away, this time from Platini it was. It's a great ball, good vision.
That's Kwok, puts in a cross. Gums was waiting for it and unmarked, and good defending.
Well, no nonsense defending, wasn't it? And of course, the last game against Rangers, South China losing out 3-1, and they got heavily criticised for the late 2 goals that Rangers scored. So I'm sure no nonsense defending has been the order of the day after that terrible result. And in fact, that's led Andrew to at least speculation in the newspaper they're going to axe 2 or 3 players from the South China squad, foreign players that is. It's not the best work corner though from Kichi, and they've not even got the ball in the box at the moment. Kwok's trying to trick his way around, but there's 3 South China players there.
Keith Gums is charging this one down, but he will not get there first.
Unlucky, wasn't it? Great vision once again from was the number 6 in
yeah, Gao Wen.
Gao Wen, that's
mainland
right,
players playing for Kichi.
I think he was the boy who set off Kwok down that right-hand side a few minutes ago.
Well, it's interesting, Mark. Apparently we have a Japanese referee for this match, Mr. Iamoto, 33 years of age. And all the other officials are from Hong Kong. The linesman Fung Ka-yu and Poon Ming Fai, both from Hong Kong. But we have a Japanese referee.
Very good, Andrew. And traditionally for some of the big tournaments here in Hong Kong, Andrew, most notably with the Carlsberg Cup and some exhibition games, quite often we've seen Japanese referees. officiating, so there's a connection is still there, and generally speaking, they're very good, I must say.
Oh, well, that seemed a bit
silly. Him into that one, didn't he?
Deng just falling down under his own steam, getting tangled up with Gao. That's Gao Wen, who put in that fabulous cross just before. Just a nudge on the back, certainly not enough to bring Deng down.
A little bit silly though. He did kind of jump towards him. Two mainland Chinese players there. Gums is going to just pump it up front, but unfortunately he's got no support and nobody up there for Kichi.
Platini out wide for Lee. Lee looking for Tinho. Tinho again. And Bamanjo, who showed that he is afraid of no one, comes away with the ball. Rakocevic, Bamanjo. Forward for Gums, who looked like he got a bit of a boot in the side there from Platini. Well, that won't do them any good. And Coelho does well.
Smart play from Keith Gums there.
And that's Lee Hai-Chiang.
Yeah,
the mainland players playing for South China.
He drew the foul there, Keith Gums, because just a little bit of experience from the former Happy Valley marksman. Here he is again.
Well, Bamanjo just shoots that one wide. It was always going to be a difficult volley for him.
Yeah, just didn't quite get a hold of it, did he? Goalkeeper just letting it run through. As we see, coming up to the 30-minute mark, and still 0-0. Not been too many chances. South China probably had the best one, where I think it's come off of a post after about 10 minutes or so. But other than that, it's been pretty much all happening in midfield. It's going to go out for a corner. Just giving the goalkeeper too much to do there. Did have a go at trying to keep it in.
Keith Gums did well there to draw one of the defenders away. A little dummy there. And there's Ivan Jevic, who charges back to his defensive position. And now it's Platini as the sun really starts to come down here at Mongkok. Some very long shadows out there. Still, though, it's a big problem for the keeper down at that other end to the right. That will all change after they come back on for the second half. Tinho plays it back to Deng, back for Tinho again.
No surprise really that Kichi are just being very, very patient. As we said, they are Kwok sneaked by there.
Kwok still trying to come away with it. He does. A tenacious player at the best of times. Well, they've set up the chase for Kwok Kin Pong, who can't get there. Throw by Rakocevic. Jevic and now Bamanjo, who swings out wildly at Tinho. Those two are continuing their duel.
See, that's what I was talking about, Andrew. You see, Tino just got the ball stuck underneath his feet as he was trying to dribble with it. And I can tell you, that's simply because this surface is very, very dry. Not easy to run, but it could be a shot here.
Gao Wen shoots that one in to Zhang in goal for South China. Yevich doesn't quite latch onto that one as he would have liked. Deng. The ball's still there for Deng to chase, but Keith Gums is down there first.
Yeah, definitely Kichi can sit back and soak up the pressure. It's South China that have to push on and try and get 3 points out of this game. So as they're trying to do that, Kichi can very easily hit them on the break. It's true to say it's been pretty even so far. Probably South China just shading it. So let's see if the sun has any impact on this ball in. It's a decent ball into that danger area, but there's some arms up and some pushing.
The referee just warning one of the South China players there. I think it was Deng. Pretty high ball in.
Yeah, some shirt pulling.
This is Lu. Lu to Bamanzhou. Open now for Yevich. Ivan Yevich and Rakocevic seem to pretty much swap places sometime over the past 10 minutes. Exchanging left for right. Tino. Yevich. Lee can't get there for South China, and it's a Kichi ball, but not for long. In fact, Dejan Antonich down on the sideline, the Kichi coach threw his arms up in an exasperated fashion there when he saw that ball given away. And he's off again. This is Kwok. Kwok in the blue shirt, the Kichi number 7. Up to Lee, and Mr. Iamoto, the Japanese referee, telling Kwok Yu-hung to get up and stop play acting.
I think he did grab a hold of it, Kwok's shirt, didn't he? South China defender there, but let go pretty quickly as well. And I think the referee honestly was just trying to allow some advantage to be played, but none was taken.
Okay.
There is Kwok again, and if he can be released, that's good work. Oh, and he can. Gums is inside.
It wasn't exactly a bad effort. He was set up by Chan Siu Ki to start with. Really good work by Chan.
That's right, Andrew, and you're going to see Keith Gums remonstrating with him in the background, because there, his first touch, had he have played it in, Keith Gums had lost his marker. He's tried to, Kwok's come back on his favoured right foot there, even though he is playing down this left wing, and had a go himself. Chan Siu Ki did real well, didn't he, to set him up there. That should have gone into the box at that point with his left foot, and Keith Gums was right bearing down on goal.
Deng has come back for it. Does well to regain some ground, but it's straight out. So it looks like a ball that Luk Kun Pong will take. The throw. Rakocevic over for Yevich again. Good ball through by Yevich, but it's been intercepted there by Manpei Tak, and Now that's Young in the middle. And turned away there by Li Haiqiang.
South China playing some decent football, and then it seems to go terribly wrong for them. They've just got to keep the ball on the deck, get it down, and play. When it goes in the air, it could be anybody's.
Back for Yevic. You better get rid of it pretty quick. This is Baminjo. Oh, good work. Back for Baminjo again. And the ball through by Leung Chi Wing wasn't the best. And now it's back with Zhang Chunhui in goal for South China. Coutinho getting climbed on there by Rakocevic. Rakocevic up forward again. Baminjo now. Up there for Coelho. This is Coelho, the Portuguese player.
Yeah, the goalkeeper did very well there, Andrew. He was calm under pressure.
Platini
simply side-footed the ball out to his colleagues instead of just lashing it up front.
Yevic. Baminjo gets a touch, back for Platini. Now it's Kwok. And Kwok Kin Pong loses it to Baminjo.
It's a good half, Baminjo, actually, and he's got a free kick out of that one as well.
So they're playing a bit of twister there.
Yeah, he's kept the ball very well and he's played simple. Through the back of him, and it was a foul. And Japanese official got that one spot on.
Nice turn by Lee, and Platini has it now. And says that Chan Siu-ki was getting a little too physical. So I should just say Platini's full name once again, just so you don't make the mistake and think that he's French. It's Ferreira Mesquita Michel Platini.
Just 5 minutes to go before the break, and there's no real sign of a deadlock being broken just yet, but there is definitely enough quality on the field to make that happen. Just needs to be given one chance. Both sides playing fairly well. Another South China throw on that far side.
Coutinho trying to get in there, but he was muscled off the ball by Rakocevic, it looked like.
Yeah, he did well, didn't he, Andrew? Because like you said, there was two defenders there, and I think he's been penalised for pushing, I believe. But have a look at this. He was didn't really get a hold of it, did he? But in any case, it's going to be a free kick against him. Yeah, he did use his right arm quite a bit.
Keith Gums. And Coelho outruns him to the ball. Kitchie putting the pressure on now. Keith Gums flays that one right over Bamajo, I should say, to the other side. So Coutinho has come back again, the big striker. He has a completely different name on his shirt to what we have on the starting lineup. But as they often do, they go with nicknames rather than proper names, and the referee says, get up. Rakocevic it was who's gone down in the box. Yeah, South China's number 30, his full name, Bento dos Santos Jose Wellington. Or Coutinho. Yes, that was absolutely a dive. Well, you've got to say the honours have been shared here in this first half. Both sides playing superb football, fairly equal possession, no goals, as you can see, as we approach the halfway mark. Platini. South China skipper, Lee Chi-ho. Jevic. Ooh, takes a bit of a risk there. Slots it through a few players to get it back to his keeper. And a little bit of a dangerous thing to do. Coelho does well to get there. And that's really given some advantage here to South China. Jevic, though, gets a foot to it first. Oh, and one of the South China players has taken a knock as that has gone through to the Kitchie end. Li Jian, the Kitchie keeper, seemed to have caught Kwok on the way through. Coutinho gets it. Absolutely, he did. Just doing his job, though. He certainly had his eye on the ball. I guess you'd call that collateral damage. Platini is it back for Coutinho. Oh, that was worth trying, and it's a loose ball that's been picked up by Rakocevic. Well, a moment of excitement there for South China. They were bearing down. And that wasn't a bad-looking shot. Here comes the big man, the top scorer for South China so far, the biggest guy in the field, and that really was a difficult bounce for Li Jian back in goal for Kitchie. So we have 1 minute of time added on at the end of this half, and we've just clicked over into 45 minutes, so we're inside the last minute now. Referee, Mr. Iamoto, the Japanese referee, is calling over Liu Tran Kung. And the referee being a little overly dramatic there as he pulls out that yellow card. Keith Gums telling his own player just to keep his mouth shut and get back. And this is why. Well, it does seem like a decision that could have gone either way, so you can understand why Liu is a little upset. Time just about up in this half. Last roll of the dice for the Carolinas in this half at least, as the sun now completely gone down. There's no shadows on the pitch. Those lights will be coming on shortly. And as you can hear, there are a large number of South China fans in this, and we'd estimate roughly 3,000 strong crowd, 2,500, 3,000. And now Deng's getting a talking to. So perhaps not a bad thing that both these sides are about to head into the change rooms. Perhaps too far. Too high. Kitchee have a man down in the box. And the frustration shows on the face of the South China players. The free kick there from Lee. So it looks like Chan may have fallen badly. The physio's out. Yes, basically a bad fall right on the base of his spine. That was. Stretcher not needed though, or is it? He's got to leave the field at least, but we are in the last seconds. This match should have already been over. In fact, we count 47.5 minutes. They should have done 45 plus 1, and that has got to be the last chance for South China. There is the whistle for halftime here at Mongkok Stadium. And South China will probably, the way they've been playing so far this season, they'll probably be fairly happy to be 0-0 level with the league leaders Kitchee at this stage. So we'll be back with live coverage of the second half in a moment. Stay with us. And welcome back live to Mongkok. So we'll be taking a look at some statistics in a moment from the first half. Just one of the, well, we estimate perhaps 2,000 to 3,000. Either way, a great turnout for a Hong Kong local league match. So as Dejan Antonich said, maybe the crowds are coming back to Hong Kong football. So there's the first half stats. Shots on target, Kitchee on the left, the league leaders, 4 shots on target, 6 for South China. Corners, 3 apiece, fouls, 11 for Kitchee, 14. So overall, a fairly easy or even match. So an interview now with Dejan Antonich. Let's take a look. Mark Granger is down on the ground.
Hello, and thanks very much, Dejan, for joining us. We know you're very busy. You've got to get in to talk to the boys. Just a quick few comments. What do you think of the first half?
Well, you know, I think it's a good game. So China play a very good game today. We try our best today, but you know. One thing is very important. I'm very happy because the crowd is come back to Hong Kong football, and I think So China and Happy Valley win today. Doesn't matter, you know, in the end of the game. But if we bring the crowd like this, that means the people have a respect for So China and also for Kitchee. About the game, we have still 45 minutes, and I think it's a good performance from the both team. We will see. We look for our chance. So thanks God, in the end, if we have a good result, that will be very good for us.
Yeah, as you say, it's a great game, and the crowd here is just fantastic at Mongkok. Good day. But in the second half, what are you going to do to change it?
You know what? I will keep a little bit secret. You know, we will make some change for sure, but we will see later on what's going on and everything. If anyone is injured or something like that, so maybe later I will know something better. You know?
Okay, thanks very much, Dejan. Appreciate it.
Good one. Thanks.
So Mark Granger down on the pitch there with the Kitchee coach Dejan Antonich. A Bosnian who has spent quite a few years playing in Hong Kong in the past and, of course, now very successfully coaching. And we'll now take a look at some highlights from that first half. Unfortunately, no goals, but not for want of trying, or not trying at least. We've had plenty of shots on target. South China had the better of the shots, it should be said. They certainly had more of them. So Deng with that cross for South China. If you've only just joined us, the Carolinas, South China playing in the red and white tops. And Atinho there complaining that he was pulled and shoved I don't know who would dare do that with the biggest guy in the field, a towering figure up and across, and he also happens to be South China's top scorer. Okay, so a few of the highlights there of the first half. Let's now take a quick break. And welcome back to TVB Pearl's live bilingual coverage of this match. Canon presents Local Soccer League 2006-2007, Kitchee versus South China. And if you've only just joined us, the halftime score is 0-0. South China having slightly the better of the shots, to be sure. But we now have a special presentation for you at halftime. And it's the Canon Kitchee Youth Scholarship Scheme. And out on the pitch, we have Mr. Konishi, Canon Hong Kong's president and CEO, I should say, and Mr. Benny Fung, the president of Kitchee Football Club. And the players out there with them, or at least a couple of them, there's Joey Leung, a scholarship winner in 2004, on the right. And on the left is Wong Sai Hung, who won this award in 2005. In fact, Joey Leung was a winner in 2004. Both are now apprentices in Kitchee's first team. So Joey is just 16 years old now. That's Joey, number 28 on the right, off camera. And this is Cheung Chi Fung in the white shirt, wearing number 9. And he is the first recipient of this year's scholarship scheme. So Cheung Chi Fung is just 16 years of age. He stands already at 1.8 meters in height. And here's another one. It's Ng Kai Lam in the white number 10 shirt. He's also a striker, and he is just 14 years of age. He's a student at the Choi Hung Estate Catholic Secondary School. And the recipients continue. This is Lo Tin Ho, number 6. And he is also 14 years old. And he's played his youth football in Wong Tai Sin, and is a member of the Hong Kong under-14 representative side. And our last recipient is Ng Kwok Fung, the number 8, also 14 years old. He's a midfielder, and he's a student at the Buddhist Sum Hung Lam Memorial College. And he is also a member of the Hong Kong under-14 representative team. So there are all our recipients of the Canon Kitchee Youth Scholarship Scheme. And as I mentioned before, the awards presented by Mr. Konishi, Canon's president and CEO in Hong Kong, and Mr. Benny Fung, the president of Hong Kong Football Club Kitchee. So the South China and Kitchee players look like they're about to come back on. Now, we do have another award, and in order to encourage spectators to support their team, Kitchee have decided to present the Most Outstanding Fans Costume Award for both Kitchee and South China fans at the stadium today. Now, these costume winners were picked out by Hong Kong movie director Cheung Kin Ting. He selected the winners before the match, and that's Mr. Konishi presenting the awards, and there is the South China Costume Award winner. So Mr. Konishi on the right, presenting the awards. And the first prize winners will receive a Canon digital camera. And there's another. And I wonder if they realised they'd be on national TV in those uniforms.
Probably not, Andrew.
Or costumes, I should say. So the formalities now out of the way. And a reminder, you're watching live coverage of the basically top-tier Hong Kong football clash between Hong Kong football legend South China, who we mentioned before at one time in the 1970s, they were the premier football club in Asia. Kitchee, no slouches themselves, 3-time Hong Kong League champions, and they are currently leading the Hong Kong League But the score here at Mongkok Stadium, as the sun has gone down, the score is 0-0. So South China in the red and white, Kitchi in the blue, and we're about to get underway again. And our Japanese referee, Mr. Iamoto, is looking around, making sure everything's all right. That's a blow for the start of the second half.
Yeah, I don't see any changes, Andrew, in the second half so far. Obviously, as Dejan Antonich did mention, have to see how things go. And he said if anyone was picking up any injuries, of course, they would be changed, but nobody seems to have got too many injuries so far.
Latini had eyes in the back of his head then, could sense Keith Gums charging down on him. Did a nice little stop and turn.
It's a lovely ball, isn't it, on that far side, and the captain just trying to get the cross off, but good defending from Kitchi.
Oh, that would have hurt. I think that was straight into the face of Cheung.
Totally accidental, of course, and Cheung did take the full force of that one. Look at this. Whoa.
Cheung Siu-wai. Well, Mark, we saw that in a Dutch league game a couple of weeks ago. A keeper knocked out cold by a shot from PSV striker midfielder, I should say, Jason Kalina. Knocked him out cold and he was carted off.
Yeah, you got to be careful, really, because he's struggling there a little bit, saying that he maybe can't.
In fact, I think some of the players, some of his teammates were concerned that he may have been a little concussed, trying to stop him and just take a look at his eyes and see if he was okay. This is Coutinho, who's bearing down on them, the top scorer for South China.
Yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful with such things, because at the end of the day, it is a blow to the head. So
just a reminder, it's Kitchi leading the Hong Kong League at the moment. They have 7 wins from 7 matches. South China have 4 wins from 7 matches, along with 1 defeat and 2 draws. So that's where they stand. South China trailing Kitchi by a few places in the Hong Kong League. In fact, they have quite a bit of ground to make up, because at the moment it's Kitchi with 21 points in the league, South China with 14.
Yeah, already stretching, pulling away Kitchi, as we've said, and really a result for them. That's a good header, a decent ball in, and a good header, Goldwoods, but unfortunately just couldn't quite find the correct direction. Nice little left-footed ball in, just gets in front of his marker. Not sure who it was, actually.
Well, putting the ball in was Lee. I think it might have been Kwok who was in there. There's Coutinho, and there is Li Jian, the Kitchi keeper. And this is Bamanjo, back for Rakocevic. Now that's Look. Kwok.
There's a definite foul on Kwok there from Platini.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon, I think
By
it was
Coelho, the
Coelho, it was,
Portuguese.
Yes.
Look Kun Pong will take this free kick for Kitchi.
So we just start to see, Andrew, the sun has gone down as this ball's put into the danger area, and Keith Gums just gets a... Sorry, I don't think it was Keith Gums, it was...
Bamanjo, I think.
Bamanjo got
the floodlights have come on, actually, Mark.
Yeah, I say the sun's gone down now, so you were quite right, Andrew. The goalkeeper at that far end doesn't have the same problems as we saw with the Kitchi keeper in the first half. Much more nicer temperature now as well, if that's since the sun's gone down, and absolutely beautiful evening here at Mongkok Stadium. If Kitchi do come out and steal something out of this one, a 1-goal win or whatever, to take the 3 points, that's really going to set them up big time.
Well, Mark, going on current form, you'd have to say that South China would probably be pretty happy to be 0-0 with Kitchee at the moment, because it's Kitchee that are the form team.
Yeah, you would, Andrew, but of course, with such pressure on South China to do well, then they, even though you're right, that this wouldn't have been a bad result, 0-0, get a point off the league leaders, but they really can't afford to do that. They've got to try and go for the 3 points, as we said, to stay in any type of contention whatsoever.
Well, Mark, you mentioned before this match got underway of the way that Hong Kong football could or should be going. There has been a lot of talk over the past few years of trying to bring Hong Kong football more in line with the mainland football scene, basically by getting 1 or 2 good Hong Kong teams into the Chinese domestic league, even some sort of unofficial Hong Kong side. The problem is, though, as Kitchee try and clear this ball, that football on the mainland is in such a disastrous state of affairs at the moment that it'd be really out of the frying pan into the fire.
Well, it would, and of course, you've got the mainland football is kind of a strange thing, because you've got the quality there, and I believe the money's there, although that's where the corruption comes from. But I don't think there's any shortage of people wanting to sponsor the teams and put money in because of obviously economy being what it is in China. But it's really just being run terribly, isn't it? And I know IMG were in there at one stage in the mid-90s, trying to get some kind of structure and bring some type of professionalism to the league. But it still doesn't seem to have paid off, and yeah, corruption is a problem. But I mean, I must say as well, if you take some of these Hong Kong First Division sides, they probably would. Oh, that's good training ground stuff from.
Oh, that's superb, and they very nearly got on the board.
Well, what a great piece of.
That was Bamanjo who got ahead to it, Mark, and there is Rakocevic who helped set it up. But that was great football from Kitchee, and they should have had a goal.
It really was, as I said, straight from the training ground, and a darting header. Look at this, a short free kick into Kwok.
And the cross from Look Kun Pong. It was a great cross from Look.
And Kitchee, sorry, South China led off the hook there, because that was great football from this Kitchee side. A player down.
Kitchee have a player down. The referee was right onto that as well.
Yeah, I can't quite see what happened there, but just look at this free kick again. It was well worked, and the ball inside wasn't bad either. Babinger, he's been outstanding for me, really, and he got on the end of that one.
I'll tell you, Totino is just all over the place in this match, Mark. He's either up forward as South China's top scorer, or he's back in defence. He's a real utility player, as he's shown so far. He was back there in the fray again when that shot occurred.
Yeah, obviously he's been asked to do his bit and defend as well.
Deng, Coutinho.
Well, this is better from South China. The referee's played a good advantage, because there was an offside call against Kitchee before that move started, and the referee saw our linesman on this near side. It was out of your picture.
That looked awful.
It did. And he's given him a red card, Andrew. I don't know if that was his second yellow or a straight red, but our Japanese official has no hesitation in sending off probably the most creative player on the Kitchee side.
Yeah, Gao Wen's gone.
And that's a problem, because with only a few minutes gone in this second half, we've got a long way to go to play.
Mark, it's the South China skipper who took a tumble there, but I don't believe that there was that much contact.
No, he's lunged in, hasn't he? But I really don't know, like you say, I don't know if he has caught him or not. Have a look at this one. The ball's gone, he's lunged in, maybe a little bit.
Slight contact, yeah. But that definitely looked far worse than it actually was. And it's the South China skipper who's taken, I'd say, just a slight clip.
Yeah, it seems okay, Andrew. He's right back on his feet, and
so a tough job for that man now, Dejan Antonic, the coach of Kitchee, a Bosnian who has done so well on the Hong Kong football scene over the past 6 or 7 years, playing and coaching. Free kick for South China. It's a low one, no distance.
Well, in a flash, this game could change because...
well, you're going to have some very tired Kitchee players out there now who might be starting to think that they'd be happy to get away with a draw. Bamanjo shadowing Lee. Back for Zhang, in goal for South China. And they're looking for Deng.
It's never easy to play against 10. It may seem easy, but invariably the 10 men tend to tighten up, make it more difficult for you. And you've got to be very, very patient and pick out the spaces and openings when you can. If you try to force it...
Well, Mark, that seems like an unfair decision that's gone against I should say, Liu Chan Kun, because that actually looked like Kwok Kin Pong was in the wrong. He charged in with a high arm, and it's South China instead with the free kick. And the referee there having a few words with Coutinho, and there is Kwok Kin Pong.
It's going to be interesting to see what Dejan Antonich, the Kitchee coach, may do about this. He may opt to keep it as it is, or throw on another maybe defensive midfielder, just to give a bit more stability there.
Mark, it looks like we have Tam Siwai, the veteran, the 36-year-old, who's warming up down on the sideline there for Kitchee. So it looks like we are going to have a substitution for Kitchee quite shortly.
Well, that actually, Andrew, is quite a bold move from the coaching staff of Kitchee, because really Tam Siwai is going to create you something unless they still fancy themselves to go on and win this game, even with 10 men, of course. Not that that's not possible, because it definitely is. But I would think a point for Kitchee is pretty good, considering they're down to 10 men.
Oh, great turn. Yavich, though, heads him off. And Kwok Kin Pong really just ran into a brick wall there in the form of Ivan Yavich. There's the South China heartland down there in the stands. I think without doubt the vast majority of fans here are South China followers.
Danger's still not over, and for the near post ball, just couldn't quite get over the front man there. And the pressure is still going to mount for Kitchee.
So Bamanjo just getting rid of that one.
We are going to see the change now, Andrew. I just wonder who they're going to bring off. And it's taking Kwok off, which once again is a little odd decision, really, Andrew, all round.
Kwok had a great first half.
He did, and you know what? He's got legs, Kwok, and you can just, you know, hit it down the line to him. He'll chase it all day long.
It's pretty early in the second half to put on a 36-year-old player, isn't it?
Yeah, and also Tam Siwai, although, you know, what a great footballer he is, he just hasn't got the pace and the legs anymore, and I would think it's a strange replacement, really, but you can't argue with Mr. Dejan, because he has got this Kitchee side playing so well, and the results speak for themselves. So he knows what he's doing, without question. And he's just got to, his defence have really got to stand up and be counted now, though, because...
oh, that's a fine-looking kick. Straight into the arms of Li Jian, though.
Yeah, just slightly overhit, I think, Andrew. Of course, we know who they were looking for. Big Brazilian. And it's just slightly overhit into the goalkeeper's hands. But there's pressure now from South China. It's a full court press against this Kitchee side, not giving them any time or space. That was silly, actually, wasn't it? From the number 18. Kwok Kin Pong, there was no need for it. And it's given away an easy free kick to Kitchee. Well, Well, they've got to be patient, South China, and that looks like what they are being, because they're passing the ball away now with some confidence.
This is Platini. Wide for Cheng.
Just ran into trouble there, didn't he? But
punted away there by Liu, but the flag is up for offside.
So really, that's the kind of ball as well, Andrew, when you want to just pump it away there, that people like Kwok would get on the end of it. Of course,
Keith Gums looks very perplexed there, but I tell you what, the minute he charged into that opposing half, that flag was straight up.
Oh, the keeper's lost it.
That was way too high. That was just too high for him, and it was Kwok Kim Pung who has had really a fabulous match so far.
And the referee's seen something here. I think he's seen a deliberate had ball. And it's a yellow card. Have a look at this one again. Yeah, I think he tried to grab it with his hand, and that was very, very silly from Kwok Kim Pong. It really was. No need to do that. See South China.
Yep, here's a change for South China. Now on comes Schultz for South China, and coming off is Cheng Siu-wai.
Yeah, Cheng Siu-wai's had a good game and deserves the round of applause as we see.
And they're making another one. Now also on comes Wong Chun-yu, and off comes Yeung Chi Kwong. So 2 changes for the Carolinas.
Yeah, Wong Chun-yu very, very quick on his feet. And Schultz is not bad either. Another big Brazilian, so he's just going to tuck behind the front man. And it's a formidable pair now up front. Another well-worked free kick. Oh, good little touch.
Coutinho, yeah, does well. And he's got it through for Schultz. Nice control by Schultz, but Jevic can't stop him either. Oh, that is a superb shot. What a smart substitution by South China. And they are ahead 1-0. And he's only been on for a few minutes.
Well, that is incredible, Andrew, isn't it? Because I think, you know what, it's probably his first touch of the ball. It must be. That's a wonderful goal, it has to be said. And they got caught out there, Kichi did. Some great football. And this guy has just literally been on the pitch no more than a minute. And, of course, he's got a yellow card for his trouble. You can't take your shirt off like that, but he's so pleased.
So the 25-year-old Brazilian has just made a huge impact for South China, and Jevic was really, truly beaten.
Yeah, what he did, he's not really struck the ball the cleanest, it has to be said. He's got enough on it. That's the flick there, though. What a good flick as well, and that's the ball. Chested it down, and like you say, Jevic just got beaten, didn't he, on that little toe poke, and he's got enough on it to finish it past Li Jian. And South China go goal up. It's probably been coming for a while now, and it takes the Brazilian substitute. Bit of quality to really take South China a goal up, and of course with a man advantage, you would expect that's that. But I've got a feeling we're going to see some more goals here.
There's the South China coach, a very happy man, Mr. Amaral.
Keith Gum's been pulled down there.
I'd say he'd be a man under pressure as well, Mr. Amaral, for South China.
Well, he can certainly take credit for that sudden impact, you could say, because in terms of substitutions, you won't see a bigger impact than that. literally been on the field for a minute or so. And he's on the end of the ball. In fact, if they can see him, Schultz is free again in the middle.
This is Wong. Wong for South China making the charge. It's a great cross.
Well, that's the two substitutes combining there, Andrew, and it just shows you what a fresh pair of legs can do. Because Wong went all the way down this left-hand side and put a great ball in. And Schultz nearly, very nearly, got his second of the game. Chansu Ki just being pulled offside there, but look at this, the goalkeeper did very, very well. It was just a fingertip touch, and it was enough to take it away from Schultz. Here is Wong again, if he can keep it in.
I don't get there, no way.
Oh, unlucky. But a resurgence, South China, Andrew, since those two substitutions.
Well, and Mark, we haven't even reached the halfway point of the season yet, so if South China can come away with the 3 points here, they're definitely back in the swing of things.
Well, exactly. That's very, very important, and not only for South China, but for the other, the trailing pack you could see, Lanois and as well as Happy Valley in there, and Sun Hay, because everybody wants to see Kichi beaten this afternoon. Can the two Brazilians combine? Not quite. Both these sides have worked very, very hard, and
I was just about to say, Kichi have certainly had their moments as well, particularly that Baminjo attempt on goal, which...
Yeah, could have been a different story, Andrew, and that was before the sending off, wasn't it? So that could have set them up.
This is Deng. Deng just gets a slight touch from Chan Su Ki, and the referee's gone for his pocket.
On a yellow, Andrew, already, is he? Maybe not. No, that's his first.
Yep, it appears to be his first.
They've really got to calm down with it, because the last thing they can see Dejan Antonich on the touchline here, just having a word with Chan Su Ki, because the last thing he needs is 9 men out there. It's bad enough with 10.
And I'm sure the referee really does not want to see that either.
A silly challenge, wasn't it? From behind, it was nowhere near the ball.
Deng Jinghuang, the 21-year-old mainland player, he's the one who took the tumble.
Just out of pure frustration, actually. Oh, Schwartz is in there again, and
Coutinho.
Coutinho is
yeah, and Jevic there saying, look, you know, he can't just literally throw his weight around like that. Ivan Jevic now looking at the linesman saying, you know, when you've got a big guy like that throwing himself around, you've got to be protected. There, he did get an arm in the ribs.
He certainly did, and he didn't like it.
Baminjo back for Rakocevic to Baminjo. Shadowed by Schultz. And that ball's way too long.
We haven't seen too much of Tam Suwai just yet in this second period since he came on. But if you do give him the ball and he has a little bit of time and space, he can certainly hurt you, as we see the goal once again. It's this touch, Andrew, this one right there, that takes him away.
And look at that, Mark. You could see him just brush aside his teammate, say, no way, this is mine.
Yep.
Because Wong was hovering there, looking to get a shot on it, and Schultz said, no way, I set it up, I'm going to finish it. And he did it with style. And in the end, it turned out he did have the better shot on it anyway.
Yeah, his momentum just carried him through. He knew exactly what he was doing once he got that little toe poke through.
Keith Gums was held back there by Deng.
I think it's probably going to go the other way, Andrew.
Yeah,
it did look a little bit odd, didn't it?
I've got to say, that's the second strange decision that has gone against Kichi, when in fact it perhaps should have gone the other way. There's Mr. Iamoto, our Japanese referee for this match. Schultz
peels off his man. They'll have a run at him. It's not a bad ball in either.
Coutinho gets a touch. Two of them up for it, and Bamanjo, who is totally uncompromising in challenges. And Kitchie fans roar their approval there, in a way probably saying, well, it's about time something went our way. Rakocevic over to Ivanovic. That's Liu. Jevic, Liu again.
Still impatient, Kitchie, and it's bad football. It's that final ball is just...
Well, it's nice to see a keeper actually hold onto the ball. And that was Zhang Chunhui, South China's keeper. Coutinho will get there first, it looks like. Now it's Schultz.
Oh, it's going to be a yellow card straight away, and that was... we saw that a few minutes ago, didn't we, Andrew? That's been a long time coming, and no surprise, really. Coutinho totally going through. Look at this. It's not the first one, it's the second one.
It was
this one here.
It was Rakocevic who he bat. You can't do that. You can't do that. Rakocevic had no idea he had a man bearing down on him. And a deserved yellow card for the Brazilian. And Coutinho on the back of his shirt. You saw Dos Santos come up on the screen. His full name, Bento Dos Santos Jose Wellington.
Yeah, I can see why they call him Coutinho. And really...
Bamanjo. Good ball forward for Luk Kun Pong. That's Deng with the challenge. And Jorge Amaral, the South China coach, screaming out instructions to his players from the sideline. Coutinho. He's got good ball control for a big guy. Coutinho.
He has, Andrew. Yeah, he's got, like you say, he's well balanced. I mean, to carry that frame around is not easy, and there's going to be an offside there.
What a shame, because that was a great charging run from Kwok Kin Pong. Rakocevic gets things underway quickly to Liu, to Bamanjo.
He's been outstanding, Andrew Bamanjo, in the centre of the midfield there for Kitchie. He really has. I don't think I've seen him give the ball away once, and he's been in a tight spot or two pretty frequently.
Well, Mark, I've got to say, we haven't seen Tam Siwai have much of the ball.
No, we haven't. He's not really involved, is he, that much? And Kitchie do need him now, because they need to create something. Keith Gums, we haven't seen much of him throughout the whole game, really, to be honest. He's not had many chances, and that's down to the supply has not been that good. Tam Siwai does come short for that corner, but they're opting to play it in. It's a good ball, actually. Two big defenders for Kitchie up there, and it could break for somebody. Well, the goalkeeper's done tremendously well. What a good save that was.
Yeah, pretty athletic work by Zhang Chunhui, and the player's been brought down, and a card is coming out. And I think that was Rakocevic.
I think it was, Andrew. He just pulled back Platini there, Michel Platini.
Yeah. Yeah, down on the ground there is Ferreira Mesquita Michel Platini.
The goalkeeper's also clutching his right ankle.
Well, it looks like they're going to need a replacement. Well, Bamanjo came sliding under there, and he's still down. That really was superb keeping.
It was. Look, and he's just kept the ball in, only just.
It looks like he's come down badly on one of his ankles. Yeah, he's in pain. So we got two guys down. So a pause in the action here. Platini, will he continue or won't he? He doesn't look to be in too much pain. I'd say he's probably going to come straight back on.
Well, as we do pause in the proceedings, Andrew, I can see off of your camera now, but to the left, there's quite a bit of activity around the Kitchie bench, because they are pulling over a couple more substitutes who look like they're going to go on. And you don't know. There is the man making the decisions. And you can see Ricky Cheung just in the background as well, of course, famous, made his name at South China. And of course with the Hong Kong national side, as well as at Instant Dict. He's the assistant coach, one of them for Kichi. And there is the man of the moment. Just get one more look at it. But that touch there made it all possible. And of course, the strike wasn't that bad either.
Yeah, off his left foot, and I really did admire the confidence of him stopping his teammates, saying, no, this is mine. And then, well, I guess he would have been a little red-faced if he hadn't been able to pull it off.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, he was in the best position to take that shot.
He was, Andrew, yeah, because he'd kind of touched it past the defender, so he knew exactly where it was going. And he wanted to make it all his, and he certainly did that.
So if you've only just joined us, I should remind you that Kichi are playing with 10 men. They had a player sent off, and it's South China leading the team in blue. Kichi, 1-0.
So Tino just there with some great piece of skill. And a turn that's poorly given away though, and it could be pumped in. Kichi danger area game, but cleared. Oh, good skill, very good skill. Shame he just overhit that. Of course, the plays actually, Andrew, a little bit more fast and furious, even from when I was playing, because these balls are thrown straight back into the field. Just looking at that, there's no break at all, and keeps the play moving along all the time, and there's very little respite to catch your breath. South China come again. Very good football. Good 1-2 at the edge of the box. Well, the referee has allowed an advantage, and then he kept kicking again, and it's a fair decision from our Japanese referee. It's the captain, actually, with the run.
Yeah, Lee Chi-ho. Lee Chi-ho coming down there and just getting a kick from behind.
It was the afters, wasn't it, from
Leung Chi-wing.
Leung Chi-wing, I can tell you, was a left back for South China for a number of seasons. As we see, change now for Kichi.
Yes, and on comes number 9 for Kichi.
Yeah, Julius.
Well, in fact, there's 2 replacements. In fact, they're also bringing on Chung Kin Fung. So number 13 and.
That's right, Andrew.
And number 9. So Akosa
comes on. Akosa is a striker, actually.
Well,
It's wasted there, second attempt.
Dejan Antonich, the Rangers, the Kichi, I should say, coach, has made these substitutions with around about 10 minutes to go. I'd say 15 if you include injury time. There's a Schultz. Tellez Schultz. That wasn't the best cross.
Well, everybody's come near post, haven't they? And he kind of, it was almost a bit too tight. He wanted one to come near and one to go long, but they both came near and he went long. Plenty of space opening up now, and of course, if you have just joined us, Kichi are only playing with 10 men. They had a man sent off at about the 55-minute mark.
Yeah, that was Gao Wen, one of their mainland players, their number 6, who got the chop.
And in all honesty, Andrew, he's been one of the better players for Kichi this afternoon, wasn't he? He was instrumental in a number of good moves in the first half, so not only having a player sent off, but a player of his quality as well. It was a rash challenge. Not quite sure it was a straight red card though, but...
Bamanjo over for Keith Gums, and Okosa was involved there as well. This is Titino, who's brought down by Rakocevic. Not the first time those two have come to blows. Rakocevic
has got to be careful as well, because I think he's on a yellow card.
Yeah, and he's also provoking a guy who is a lot bigger than him. So yes, he is on a yellow card.
And you can't really...
Oh, looking for Schultz. Nobody's marking him.
Well, that's a hell of a goal, Andrew, and he's going to be caught offside, unfortunately.
Oh, that's such a shame. I'll tell you, this guy is a huge hit with the fans here.
That really was a great piece of finishing there from the 25-year-old Brazilian. Nearly got his second of the afternoon. And it's such a shame that was disallowed, because it was a tremendous finish. He's let it go through one leg and he's flicked it with the other, and it's flown in the bottom right-hand corner of the Kitchee goalkeeper's goal, and knew nothing about it.
Well, we will get another look at that in a moment when play quietens down a little, if we do get that sort of break. That's Deng.
South China controlling the game now, and got to be careful here. If he does anything with this football, it's a yellow card. Once the whistle's gone, you can't shoot or kick it away or anything. It's an infringement. And Titino was very sensible there.
This is Bamanjo,
because he's also on a yellow card, and that would have been a straight red. Well, not a straight red, but his second yellow.
Cross by Look. And Keith Gums was in there. Okosa was a little too close. Bamanjo, great ball skills once again. This is
he still finds them, man, Andrew. You know, he's a goal down. They're under pressure. Expect him to. Gums plays it in, and unfortunately nobody there for Kitchee. Tamsuwai.
Tamsuwai getting a rare touch of the ball.
Yeah, he's having a few little touches, but he needs to do more, I'm afraid. South China come away with it. Schultz, intelligent play. That's good from South China.
That's very good play from the Carolinas. And Schultz is charging this one down. It's Schultz and Rakocevic.
Rakocevic just get it away, and good defending. But South China are going to kill a little bit more time and have gained more possession. Look at this for a finish. Fortunately ruled offside. South China corner, so as the clock ticks down, just coming up to 7 minutes remaining in the allotted 90 minutes. Looks like it's destined to be South China's afternoon, and it certainly will be a well-deserved afternoon. Both teams working very hard. Really, on the balance of play, I would say South China have shaded it slightly. Goalkeeper's lost it. Schultz is on the ball.
Oh, look at that! Schultz was involved again.
A great flick with the outside of his left boot, Andrew Schultz.
And it looks like Kwok Kin Pong is the scorer. That was just such classy football. The deftest touch from that man, Teles Schultz.
Very, very good, and you just wonder why he was on the bench for so long.
Mark, it was Kwok Kin Pong who scored to make it 2-0.
And you know what, Andrew? He scored with a header, and he must be the smallest man on the field, I believe, because he's tiny. And I don't suppose he's ever scored many goals with his head, to be honest. And that's a rare one, and a very valuable goal.
And you've got to say that that is the end, probably, of Kitchee for this match.
Watch this with the outside of his boot.
I mean, the cross couldn't have been better. It found his man.
Terrible marking from Kichi. They've been solid in defence all season and even this afternoon, but we have seen a defender changed.
Well, Mark, I can tell you from up here, we can see lines of spectators starting to file out of the stadium, and you'd have to say that most of them are Kichi fans.
Well, they know it's over now, and could still be more goals, though, so I wouldn't really leave my seat just yet, because
this is Rakocevic.
A bit more action left in this game.
Yeah, Akosa getting called there for shirt pulling. Julius Pongla Akosa. It was that that came to the attention of the referee, and that's Platini. Platini picks up a free kick for South China. That was Bamanjo, who's had such a great match. It's a shame to see a player like that on a losing side.
Really is, Andrew. Yeah.
As the South China coach, Jorge Amaral.
He's going to go for a corner. Yeah, Amaral must be very, very pleased, because, you know, there's big pressure on South China. They talk of axing 3 players. And of course, when you start axing players, you start thinking about your coaching team as well. Of course, brought in at great expense. He's a very experienced Portuguese coach, Amaral. But nevertheless, the results have not been going all of his way. So this one was a big, big result for him and his South China team. It's just going to be a little bit too far. But again, just to repeat, in my mind, it's no more than they deserve, South China, because they have edged this game, but it's been made all so much easier for them playing against Kichi's 10 men. And I'm sure when Dejan Antonic looks back and analyses this game with his players, that probably is the decision that's cost them the game.
Okay, what is it?
So South China's still coming and looking for another one, and that's
okay. Just let me know.
Another
Give me a
free
cue.
kick. Once again, going the way of South China.
Yeah, and once again, it was that man Akosa who was involved, the substitute for Kichi. 3-time Hong Kong League champions, although it's got to be said, not of late, but they're leading the Hong Kong First Division at the moment. South China about to have a free kick taken by Li Haichang. They're all down there. The man they've got to watch, though, is Schultz, and that's who he was aiming for as well. It was stopped en route. And South China now just all over this match.
Schultz once again cushioning it. You see Wise over there defending.
It's Bamanjo.
We've got 2 or 3 South China players around him, and
well, that was just silly by Deng.
It was very silly by Deng, and if he's got to be careful here.
In fact, he's been called back, Mark.
Yeah, it's a yellow card, Andrew, that, because Keith Gums had gone, lost his marker. Definite yellow card. Didn't need to do it either, did he? Keith Gums wasn't exactly going anywhere. It's a long way away from goal. There was cover from other South China players. South China get the...
So this victory for South China, and victory is pretty much assured. Oh, Ao Wai Lun, another great veteran of the game in Hong Kong, is going to get a run after all.
He's coming on for the goal scorer, and a great crowd favourite, of course, Ao Wai Lun. You know, some people, whatever you want to think about him, there's a lot of respect from me, because he always gives his very, very best. He always tries hard, and he's always fully committed.
Mark, it's a shame. It really makes you think about what could have been, because it's players like Tam Siu Wai and Ao Wai Lun. As Akosa tries to set up Keith Gums, it's those two players in particular that stand out as players that probably could have gone to Europe.
Well, yeah, in their heyday, that's right, Andrew.
Yep, in their youth, with the right management, the right coaching, you know, the right nurturing and the right club in Europe, they could have made that leap.
Yeah. I mean, in many respects, I think Ao Wai Lun more so than people like Tam Siu Wai, you know, because Ao Wai Lun is a bigger guy. He's got that little bit more of a Western understanding.
And just a quick announcement for those of you waiting to see the Putung Hua news. That program has been delayed slightly because of our extended coverage here of the football. That's the Putung Hua news.
But yeah, definitely people like Ao Wai Lun could have made it, you could say, as you say, given the right opportunities. And also, in my mind, the Kichi assistant coach, Ricky Jeong, also could have made it in Europe as well, because he's obviously Costa Rican and he's got quite a Western mentality, and he also was a very, very talented player in his heyday once again.
Did you guys see how much time was added on?
So I think there's at least 2 or 3 of these former Hong Kong top players that, as Andrew mentioned, should have probably at least given it a try. You don't know if you don't try. That's the point.
Well, I mean, the list goes on, really. There's also the likes of Leslie Santos.
That's
as well,
right,
who,
yeah.
Despite his diminutive size, he really was an absolute class player. There we go. Additional time, 4 minutes to be added on. And Kichi have lost a player.
And that's not good, Andrew, because they've already made their 3 substitutions. So consequently, they are down to 9 men for the remaining few minutes of this match. And it's the defender, I think, isn't it?
I think it's it's either Jevic or Rakocevic. I think it might be Rakocevic. Getting a pat on the shoulder down on the sideline from Dejan Antonic. So we've got a few minutes left to play here at Mongkok Stadium. The sun completely gone, the floodlights out. This match started in blazing sunshine, progressed into long shadows, and now we have 4-way shadow. Schultz chasing. There's the opening goal scorer for South China, Teles Schultz, the Brazilian player who came on as a substitute.
Well, they're just going to keep this football now, South China. They're playing against 9 men, and they don't really need to do much more. They've already scored a couple of goals and wrapped up the 3 points this afternoon. Great performance. Just wasn't to be for Kichi, and maybe South China haven't done yet.
Yeah, Ao Wai Lun was just going up for that one, but South China have well, that seems a little theatrical, to be honest, particularly at this stage of the match where South China basically know they have victory in hand as we edge up toward the 94-minute mark, and that technically should be the end of the match. I'll tell you what, you'd be a pretty frustrated South China player if that was a genuine injury and it put you out for a few weeks, considering that they've pretty much won this match and the clock is just about up. There's the faithful. Some of the Kichi fans have decided to stay on here and support their club. Many of them have left. We saw them filing out earlier on.
It was Deng, wasn't it? The mainland Chinese boy who got injured there, just come off, so hopefully I can see him back on in a few minutes, but there's not too many minutes left in this. We're up to the 90.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're up to 94, Andrew,
yeah,
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, we're over 94, so this match really doesn't have much left in it. It's a shame for Kitchee. They had a player sent off, and that really was a decision that could have gone either way. So, to be fair, they could quite easily have finished this match with 11 men. That would have made things very, very different. But you've got to say it's not just the fact that they were down to 10 men, but the fact that Tellez Schultz was such a dynamic substitution for South China. He really turned this match. He got that opening goal. He set up the second for Kwok Kin Pong. And as a result, South China have a win, a crucial win against the league leaders, their rivals this season. And they can now start to justify the roughly $10 million budget that has been reported in the newspapers that South China are working with this season. This is Schultz, muscled off the ball. Tam Siwai gets a long ball forward there for Chung Kin Fung. And there is the whistle for full time. A big, crucial win for South China. The pressure was on. It was on the players and the coaching staff.
It certainly was, Andrew, and the cameras are focusing on our man there, Schultz, because what a match-winning performance he's put in for the time he was on the field. In inspirational substitution, and you know, really, he's won them the game. In all honesty, there's the other goal scorer with a headed goal.
Well, Mark, not a pretty good performance also by Coelho, the number 17 for South China, and he was one of the players that it's been reported might have his job under threat because South China hadn't been doing so well. They'd won 4 from 7. They certainly could have been doing a lot worse. There's Coutinho, the big man, the top scorer for South China, as they thank their fans, and there were so many of them here this afternoon. It's been a great turnout. So perhaps Hong Kong football is heading in the right direction. More fans, more live coverage. And there's the full match statistics. 2-0, the victory for South China. 12 shots on target in all from the Carolinas, 7 from Kitchee. 7 corners also from South China, giving a little indication there of who the more attacking side was. And a total of 53 fans. Offside 3 each, yellow cards 4 to Kitchee. So there are the players and some disappointed faces there from the Kitchee players. Let's now take a look at the league table. Kitchee still on top, of course, with 21 points.
But South China right up there, Andrew.
They have jumped. They have jumped to 17. They are certainly within earshot of Kitchee. And let's not forget, most of the teams there have played 8. It's a 20-match league. And the South China players getting more cheers as they walk round the back of this stadium. So from myself, Andrew Sams, and former Hong Kong national team player Mark Granger, it's thank you and goodbye.